Now, they're computer hackers. You know that there are many hackers in the world that are like computer hackers. So it's the same thing, except instead of a computer, you're hacking your own body. Let's go straight into it.
Welcome to The Search for Wellness, a podcast dedicated to discovering the path to a healthier, more fulfilling life. Join us on this heartfelt journey as we share inspiring stories, insightful conversations, and practical tips to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
Hi guys, welcome back to The Search for Wellness. Today's guest is me, myself, and I. And today we're going to be talking about a topic that I personally have been very, very obsessed with of lately, and it has transformed my life. And this is why I wanted to talk to you guys about it. And that topic is biohacking. And biohacking is something that is quite simple. It's not as complicated as people think, and it sounds more complicated than it actually is. And this is why I wanted to make an episode where I tell you and I explain to you what biohacking is and what I've been doing in terms of biohacking with my life so that you can implement these same things into your life and into your daily practices so that you can hack your biology. Basically, that's what biohacking is. Biohacking is the biology of your body. Hacking the biology of your body. Now, they're computer hackers. You know that there are many hackers in the world that are like computer hackers. So it's the same thing, except instead of a computer, you're hacking your own body. Let's go straight into it. But before we start, I just wanted you guys to just stop. Whatever you're doing right now, if you're watching, if you're listening, doesn't matter. Just stop doing whatever you're doing as long as it's not driving. And if you can, then also stop driving. And I just want you to close your eyes and just take a deep breath in. And a nice long exhalation all the way out. And just slowly and gently start to relax. Just come into that present moment now, where you know there is nothing else that matters. What you're going to do in the future, what you have done in the past, but this moment, just becoming aware of your breath to bring you back every time to this present moment. Try to think about all the sounds that you hear around you, the ones that are very far away, and just let them go. Even the ones that are very close by, listening to them, hearing them, but then letting go and just coming back to you and to your breath and to your body and to this moment now. And just take another deep breath in and a nice long exhalation all the way out. And slowly and gently open your eyes. Just come back to this moment, here and now. Now, the reason I wanted to do that today was because I just wanted to show you how simple it is. In your stressful life, running around, picking the kids, dropping the kids, going to work, grocery shopping, whatever it is you're doing, whenever that stress just gets a bit too much, remember, you can always just slow things down again. You have the control, you have the power, and that power lies within your breath, within you. I recently was in Mexico at my advanced follow-up retreat with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and over there he really dove really deep into the power we have within us to manifest whatever we want and all the possibilities that lie outside. And all we have to do is we have to think about the fact that we are the one in charge. We're the one in control of that moment where whatever we want to bring into our life, we can bring into our life. You want more stress in your life? You're in charge. You can bring in more stress into your life. I know it's easy to bring in more stress into your life, isn't it? But try this instead. Next time you're feeling completely shaken, completely rattled, just stop, pause. Come back to you. Come back to what is within you. Come back to your breath. come back to that moment, and then take on the world again.
This podcast was created to inspire and connect with people. If you are liking the content of this podcast, hit the subscribe button, like, follow, and share this platform. Lots of love.
So going back into biohacking. Now, biohacking is something that anybody can do. Anybody and everybody can do biohacking. From a little kid to an adult to an old person, anybody can hack their life. Biohacking is as simple as changing your sleep routine. Maybe going to bed half an hour earlier than you normally do. Maybe waking up half an hour earlier than you normally do. Maybe just changing the temperature of your room to make sure that you sleep more better. Maybe getting a sleep tracker, maybe getting a Whoop to check your sleep, to check your stress levels. Biohacking can be as simple as that. And biohacking can also be as complicated as, taking certain types of supplements at certain hours of the day, understanding why you're taking those supplements, understanding what benefits that those supplements are going to give you. So there are many, many stages of biohacking, but we're just going to go very simple and very basic so that you guys can understand a bit more about why I believe in biohacking and how I believe biohacking works. All of us want to live a better life. We all want to feel amazing. We all want to thrive. We all want to feel like we felt when we were 5 or 6 years old, where you wake up, jump out of bed, and just have full of energy, full of life, just feeling absolutely amazing. Wouldn't that just be amazing to feel like that again every single day? Biohacking can do that. All you need to do is understand your body. Learn about your body. Learn about the do's and don'ts. Learn about the things that help you, because again, it is an individual thing. It's something that is very personalized. So whatever works for me may not necessarily work for you, but these are my tips and these are the things that work for me. And so that's why I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to share these with you. So the number one on my biohacking list is what you eat. Obviously, food is your medicine. And if you start looking at food as your medicine, you will never look at it in another way again. Every single bite of whatever you take is either nourishing you, healing you, or destroying you. So just think about it this way. Whatever you're putting on your fork or whatever you're grabbing with your hand and putting in your mouth, ask yourself, does this nourish me or does this destroy me? Think about it that way. Food is one of the most important things. So you want to make sure that you try and focus on a really healthy, well-balanced diet. Are you getting enough protein? Are you getting enough carbs? But the right kind of carbs. You want to make sure that you're getting your carbs from carbohydrates that are like starchy vegetables that are good for you, like sweet potatoes, stuff like that, vegetables. You don't want to be getting your carbs where your glucose is spiking all the way up to the roof. You want to make sure that you get the right type of carbs. Are you getting enough fats, good fats into your system? Are you getting enough of everything just equally and balanced? But protein is actually probably one of the most important things. And especially as we age and the older we get, it is super, super important. Number two, you want to try and prioritize your sleep. So you want to make sure that you sleep is so important and you want to try and go to bed. We're like all the other animals. You want to go to bed at the same time, or try to go to bed at the same time in that same half an hour window every single day, and try and wake up at that same half an hour window every single day. We're just like all the other animals. So try to create a really good, healthy sleep habit. Again, like what I said in the beginning, you also want to try and create a good way to make sure that you're sleeping in a cool room, nice, comfortable bed, blackout blinds, no noise. Maybe if you need, you can put some white noise at the background to help you, and just track your sleep. Try to avoid caffeine, especially in the afternoon or later in the evening, because that's completely known to be a sleep disruptor. The other thing you can do is you can also try and avoid drinking alcohol as much as you can. I mean, alcohol has also been known to be a sleep disruptor. So really avoid those two things. Alcohol and caffeine is really, really important to avoid. You want to try and increase the production of melatonin in your body, and that's what actually helps you go to bed and sleep well. Another tip that I'll give you is at sunrise. Wake up at sunrise. Look at the sun. directly, natural sunlight going directly into your eyes, that is natural red light going in. That is already setting your system up. That is already waking your circadian rhythm up. So sleep quality is absolutely important. Another one that is a very simple biohack that you can do every single day while you're doing the sunrise, while you're watching the sunrise, grounding. Grounding is so important. You can really set so many things right in your body by just grounding. It lowers your inflammation, it lowers your cortisol, it lowers your stress levels, it regulates your hormones. Grounding is so important for us. We come from nature and we're going to go back into nature. So walking around barefoot in the grass, in the garden, hugging a tree, just being very close to nature as long as you can and as much as you can and as often as you can is going to help you so much. Even if it's just spending 10 to 15 minutes outside, grounding can be a game changer. Number 4, meditation and breath work. Obviously, meditation and breath work, you know that I am a big fan of these two. And these two combined together is a win-win. I absolutely love meditation, and I cannot recommend anyone else but Dr. Joe Dispenza for his amazing meditations, and even the breath work that he does with these meditations are absolutely amazing. But breath work can be so simple. Breath work is just you coming back to you, just finding you again in a most simplest way, like we did at the beginning of this episode. Another great one is saunas and ice baths. So I absolutely love saunas. I am a big fan and a big believer in saunas. But if you can't get yourself into a sauna, which is kind of difficult to do in Nairobi, an infrared sauna would obviously be my preference, then you can even do an ice bath. An ice bath is something that is so simple and that you could even do at home. And if you can't do an ice bath or a sauna, try an ice shower, because that can also really help. I mean, it can just literally simply help you with just your focus. Forget everything else. Just having an ice bath can help you just engage and focus and be more present. Because the minute you're having an ice bath or an ice shower, at that moment, you're focusing on your breath. That's all you're focusing on at that moment, because you're trying to make sure that you breathe correctly so that you release and you just enjoy that moment. The other thing it does is it increases the levels of dopamine in your body. And who doesn't want more dopamine in that body? Dopamine is what we need to just help us get through the day, just to keep us happy. That is just that happy pill that can be released. And when you have an ice shower or an ice bath, that dopamine is released for maybe the first day a little bit, second day even a bit more, and even the third day. You can get it up to 3 days releasing into the body. So I highly recommend saunas and ice baths. Number 6 would be supplements. Supplements are absolutely important, and especially in today's world. I mean, eating a nutritional diet is very important, but you're still not going to get all your adequate nutrition from food, as we know that the minerals that we require actually come from the soil. But our soil quality is so depleted that now those minerals are not being absorbed in our fruits and vegetables. Hence why we really need to add supplements. So my recommendation is vitamin D. Vitamin D is an absolutely important supplement. You need to take it with a little bit of vitamin K so that the absorption is better. Obviously, get into some sunlight. Vitamin D is a fat soluble, so you want to take it while you're having a meal. So your first meal of the day, your breakfast, it helps boost your immune system. Now, a lot of doctors will tell you that your vitamin D doesn't have to be more than 50. I would even say take it up to 100. 100 is even a good number for you to have your vitamin D. It just helps your immune system. It just really boosts your immune system. Omega-3 is another one that is super important, especially for brain function. It really helps with your brain health. But again, you want to try and speak to a professional about all of these supplements. Make sure that you get onto the right supplements to help you. The one thing that I do take a lot, and it helps me a lot, and it's a game changer, and I'm going to give you a tip for it today, is methylene blue. You might have watched my viral Instagram video on methylene blue and why it is so beneficial. I highly recommend that if you haven't watched it, then you go onto my Instagram page and you watch it now, because methylene blue has been a game changer for me when it comes to my focus, when it comes to my cognitive health, when it just comes to my overall well-being, methylene blue has been so beneficial. It has anti-cancer benefits in it. It helps your mitochondria rebuild, which is what we need. It actually helps create new neuropathic nerves, and nerves that fire together, wire together, as we know from what Dr. Joe says. So it even helps redevelop new nerve endings and new nerve pathways in your brain, so you can actually start to redevelop stuff in your brain. And honestly, methylene blue has really been a game changer for me. So I would highly recommend methylene blue. Another thing you want to try and do is you want to avoid EMF as much as you can, electromagnetic frequencies. So try to avoid being around your phone and around your screens and around your computers as much as you can. Now, if you have to, if that's your job and you have to, then I would recommend buying an EMF blocker. Some of them are not very cheap. They don't come cheap, but they're a good investment to have. Otherwise, even crystals are really good because you can use certain types of crystals that can help block EMFs. Number 9 is red light therapy. And again, red light is something that you get naturally from the sun. You get it during sunrise, morning sun, and you get it in the evening sun. But if you need to boost a bit more of your red light, then I would highly recommend buying a small little red light therapy panel. I will add it in the show notes, the one that I have. It's not a very expensive one. You don't need to invest huge amounts of money in buying one of these red light therapy panels. You can just literally buy a small one. It helps with reducing inflammation in the body. It penetrates into the cells, so really penetrates into the tissues. It improves the mitochondrial function. And honestly, it helps with the boosting your immune system. So if you have a virus or you feel like you have something coming along, it can help with that. It can help with joint pains, aches and pains in any different parts of the body, help with muscle recovery. It helps kids also. So I use it with my kids too. I highly recommend getting a red light lamp for sure. The last one that I would actually like to talk about is technology. And when it comes to technology, we can actually use things to track our sleep. We can use things to track our HRV, our rest, our recovery, our everything that we do. We can use tracking monitors. So I wear a Whoop, and I really like a Whoop, but you can even get a ring. It's called an Aura ring. Again, invest in the things that are going to help you and benefit you and your health and your well-being today, so that you don't have to go and pay those bills in the hospital, to those doctors, all of that, by just getting a sleep monitor, just tracking your sleep, tracking your HRV, just tracking your health. Another one that you could actually use, which is a great tracker, is also a glucose monitor. So some people don't know what spikes their glucose. So it would be nice to get a glucose monitor, and you could just get a small glucose monitor. You can put it on and you can track your glucose for another, you don't have to do it for a very long time, especially if you don't have any issues with your glucose, just to see what spikes your glucose. For some people, it could be rice. It literally could be rice that could be spiking your glucose. For others, it could be orange juice. For someone else, it might even be coffee. You never know. So it's important to understand what is creating the havoc in your body, what is creating that unsettling feeling, what is creating the brain fog, what is creating the fatigue, what is creating the issues in my bones or the tiredness, or why can't I show up for myself 100% today? But this is why these are just some simple biohacks that you can start doing today. You don't have to invest a lot of money into them, but the ones that you need to invest money into, I really recommend that you start investing money into those. Save up for a Whoop, save up for a red light. I highly recommend these things. So each of these hacks is simple and achievable, but they make a huge difference. And we are only just yet scratching the surface with all of this stuff. Whether you're trying one or a few of these, I really honestly recommend that you let me know how you feel. Even if you just start by just tracking your sleep and just making sure that you are sleeping well, you are doing well. My aim is to actually eventually create a biohacking community, and I would love it to hear from you, to hear what you think, and would you like to be part of that community. Let me know in the comments below if you would like to be part of that biohacking community where we would meet, we would share, we would understand each other, we would understand what is required and how we can make sure that we live a better, longer, and a healthier life. So thank you for tuning into the podcast today and into this episode. I hope that this information has been helpful. Remember, I'm not a doctor and this is not medical advice, but I promise you this is advice that will really, really help you feel better so that you can show up for yourself and your family. Lots and lots of love.